So good afternoon everybody, myself Acharya Vishvendra. I was just discussing about the concept of hell and heaven. Now let us see the things in proper perspectives. One is the heaven and another is hell. Heaven is called Jannat and hell is called Dojak as per the theory of Islam. In Hindu mythology also there is a concept of Swarg and Narak. So these are the popular beliefs among three major religions. First is concept of heaven and hell, then is Jannat, Dojak, and at last we have Swarg and Nark. And all of these are substantiated by pleasure. These things are concerned with pleasures and these things are concerned with pains. So fundamentally we can say that everything that we do is connected with either pleasure or pains. And now there, if we carefully think about consciousness, the consciousness has to choose pleasure or pain. And generally any person will choose pleasures. If you ask yourself, suppose there is a good man. So if we analyze why he is good, because he is being told by somebody that if you do good work, then you will enjoy pleasure. Now take example of other person who is bad. So the person who is bad is also doing things just to achieve pleasure. Suppose there is a goon in your locality. So why he is behaving like that? Because that gives him a certain sort of pleasure. The feeling of power, the feeling of dominance, the feeling that people are afraid of that particular person gives him a certain sort of pleasure. So being good or bad is just to seek pleasure. Or we can say the entire universe is heading toward a state of achieving pleasure and running away from the pain. So pleasure and pains are the two fundamental, you can say, the results which is keeping everybody in motion, which is trapping everybody to do the work. Because if there is no concept of pleasure and pain, nobody will work. Life will be too boring and it will just stop. So the entire turning point behind pleasure and pains is just to make the universe works. The entire universe is in motion. If you observe the universe, it is composed of stars which are in motion. The stars are composed of solar systems which are in motion. The solar system are comprising of planets which are in motion. The planets are comprising of, you can say, life. Life is comprising of world. The world is comprising of countries. The countries are comprising of states. States are comprising of towns and villages, which are fundamentally composed of people. People are human beings, they are organisms. Organisms are composed of organ systems. Organ systems are composed of tissues. Tissues are composed of cells. Cells are fundamentally made up of nucleus, DNA, RNA, which are fundamentally composed of atoms, which are composed of electron, protons, neutrons, which are further composed of quarks, which are further composed of strings. And those strings have an aspiration to vibrate in a certain way so that it can induce a certain sort of pleasure in them. So in a nutshell, we can say that everything is just trying to vibrate to feel pleasures. Rest of all is use of words. Internally, everybody is trying to make himself or herself resonate with the frequencies that induces pleasure. I have said in Hinduism that karma is something which induces pleasure. कर्म वही है जिसका आधार आनंद हो. And everybody is in a way to seek that state of pleasure. But to understand the entire mechanism of the universe, when you are stuck in your own thoughts, belief systems, and are unable to get out of the trap that you created by your own imaginations, by your own emotions, internally there is something who know that all this is fake and illusive. But we are often biased by our emotions, and emotions don't let us to see things, see the truth. Rather, it biases us to see things which we like and to oppose or suppress things which we don't like. So that distinction between lying or between things that we like and don't like is the root cause of every problem. If we observe life as it is, without being biased, without being judgmental, without saying anything to anybody, then we can certainly decode the patterns of working of a person. Everybody in this universe is trying to make himself or herself resonate at a certain specific frequency. That's why he's working. Everybody is working to seek pleasure. Even the people who have very high level of consciousness, who can think beyond pleasure, they're also trying to make themselves in a certain state of mind which restrains them from knowing the truth, or which reduces the negative impact of troubles, the negative impact of griefs in them. So if somebody is selfish, then we should not have complained about him or her, because consciousness has every right, everybody has every right to do something which gives him a pleasure. The rules, regulations, beliefs, customs, traditions are just made by society so that there is a less struggle in the society. But ultimately, truth pervades. However hard you try, the dominating nature of man, the egos, the emotions, they just dominate. We talk big in front of people, we try to be good, but internally negativity dominates. Everybody is afraid of facing the truth. So he is always busy in making up stories, developing some belief systems that gives him a temporary relief from the harsh truth of life. And truth is that everything is changing and everything is aspiring to seek pleasure. And that aspiration to seek pleasure will trap you for infinite times, will trap you to remain here, to focus here, to think about the ongoing things. But the moment you realize that things exist beyond all this information processing, then you are liberated from either pain or pleasure. Both becomes equivalent to you, and you stick to the path of self-observation, unbiased observation. You can refer to my book Life Beyond Information and Life Beyond Information Part 2 to know more about the metaphysical dimensions of life. These are all available on Amazon and Flipkart. You can Google the name Life Beyond Information by Acharya Vishvendra. So there are two parts of that. I'll talk to you in the next video. Thank you.